One of the beautiful things about working on a computer is that you don't always have to draw things over and over again. You can simply draw something one time and then have the computer do all the hard work. And this is really handy when you want to do something like a city scene and you just want to draw a few buildings and then duplicate them or clone them a billion times. Or a star or a fleet of starships, for example. Instead of drawing 20 starships, you just draw one and then you would clone or duplicate them to change the size and change the coloring. Now there's a difference between cloning and duplicating in Toom Boom Studio, and the difference is pretty important. Cloning allows you to make copies of objects that are all related or linked to the same file. In other words, it's a reference to the original, and it does not increase the size of your file. This is very handy for things that are going to go on the internet. Duplicating files is like copy and pasting. Duplicating allows you to make a copy of something, but have it not linked to that object. So if I change the color of one, the others won't follow suit. Cloning, on the other hand, if I change the color of one clone, all the clones that are attached to it will follow suit. Let's go ahead and try that. I'm going to grab the moon here, and I'm going to go to my element menu, and I'm going to choose to clone this element. Okay, so I'm going to grab the moon, and I'll move the new one over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the properties here, and I'm going to go to the color palette. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this moon to green. And because it's a clone, when I change one, the other follows suit, like a real clone. So if you were to clone a sheep, what you do to one sheep is going to happen when you clone it. So the other one's going to follow suit. I'm going to undo that now. And this time, what I'm going to do is, instead of cloning, I'm going to select the moon, and I'm going to go to the element menu, and I'm going to choose duplicate element. And once again, I'll grab the duplicate, and I'll move it over. And this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the fill of this duplicate to green, and only the duplicate changes. It's not linked to the clone. So that's the importance of knowing the difference between the cloning and the duplicate, because the duplicate is going to add to your file size. It's a completely different element than the original, whereas cloning is going to reference the original, and you can use as many as you want to, and when you change one, you modify the others as well.